What's up, guys? Kelly McKay here, aka HVAC Millionaire, right here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and leave me a comment below. Today we're talking about how much is your time worth? And I don't mean like your hourly rate for your business. I mean, how much is your personal time worth? And I know right now you're probably super busy, and if you are, then your time's way more valuable than maybe during the winter if you're not as busy during the winter. But how much is your time worth, honestly? $100 an hour? $200 an hour? You know, I would hope that you would value your time way higher than that. I would hope minimum it's like $1,000 an hour. If somebody's going to waste your time for an hour, you would hope to be compensated $1,000 if it was your off time, your downtime. I hope that you hold a high enough standard and value on your time that is the truth. Now, how much is your customer's time worth? Because I want you to consider something. Like if you get on a customer's house, and I know like if the unit is in an attic, then you probably have the secondary drain pan and a safety switch, you know, drain line safety switch. Yeah, that's probably necessary for code. I'm pretty sure that's universal. But then you have something, you know, what if your system's in a basement? Well, you don't have to have a secondary drain line safety switch or a drain line safety switch in a basement. It's not a must. However, you know how much water that can be produced by a good working air conditioner when it's hot outside, when with humidity. Like it can ring, you know, like it can collect over a gallon per hour as the unit's running. Over a gallon of water per hour needs to drain somewhere. And if the drain line gets clogged for any reason, then it's gonna overflow. And you're talking, you know, if that stops up at 8 o'clock at night and isn't found until 8 o'clock in the morning, is that 12 hours? 12 hours, that's 12 gallons of water. Can you imagine taking a gallon of water and just dumping it on the floor 12 times? Like, that could create an absolute nightmare of a mess. And so in order to, now the room, you know, the mechanical room where the furnace is and the air conditioner is, or the evaporator coil, and you know, it most likely doesn't have carpet or anything like that, but the adjacent rooms might. And if they do, well, then you dump all that water. Like, you're talking about, it's going to create some damage. And so if the homeowner had this problem and it created this damage, then they're going to have to, you know, quite possibly cut the sheetrock up a couple inches, take it out, go buy some fans, because not many normal people have a bunch of fans to sit down in a flooded basement to dry out. You know, your baseboard might be completely ruined. Some of the carpet could be ruined, but minimum, you're peeling all this back, you're drying it for a whole day, 24 hours, 48 hours, trying to get just the moisture taken care of. Then you might have to replace some baseboarding, and you might have to replace some sheetrock, and you might have to paint or stain the baseboard and paint the sheetrock once you get done. And so you got materials wrapped up, and how much of your time wrapped up into something like this? And of course, if the damage is bad enough, then most homeowners are probably gonna, you know, possibly make an insurance claim and have some contractors come out and give them some quotes and take care of it. But even with that, they may have to like miss work to let the contractor in. You know, there's just, how valuable is your time? So anytime you come across a unit that does not have a drain line safety switch, how much is that drain line safety switch compared to the amount of time and material that you would have to use in order to repair all the damage that can be created if the damage gets that bad, you know, like where a drain line safety switch might be able to stop some of that damage. It's very cheap insurance. So let's say it's $250 that you charge to put this in. Well, that is so worth it, right? Like, you have to look at these things, these solutions to problems that you provide as like, how much is that really worth? It's worth a lot of money. And so it's an absolute steal at $250 installed, because you're talking hours and hours and hours and headaches and the disruption of having contractors in and out of your house all the time. So think of it that way. There's 1,000 other things that we could talk about when it comes to you providing the solutions to your customers, but you have to believe in it first. And so I want you to think of it that way. How much is your time worth? And isn't it don't you think that your customers' time is worth a lot of money too? I hope that you feel that way. If you value your customers, you'll feel that way. You don't want them to have to go through a bunch of damage, from 12 gallons of water in that one scenario that I gave you, being dumped all over their floor in their basement. Nobody wants to go through that. Nobody wants to have somebody else go through that. So you can save them from this happening if you bring it to their attention. Hey, I noticed you didn't have a drain line safety switch. Are you aware of how much water the unit can produce and needs to drain when, every working day during the summer, like per hour? No, I'm not sure how much. Well, it's over a gallon an hour. That's a lot of water. Holy cow. So if this stopped draining, then it's just like dumping water all over your floor. And so you can see where that could create some urgency with somebody, but I'm not going to get into like a full process, but the main thing is just awareness of how much time are they going to have to waste if they have a leak that you could have offered a solution to, but you didn't. So you're also going to be surprised that, I'm sure you're crushing it. If it's hot and you got plenty of calls, you're crushing it, cash flow's rolling in. I get that. But what about when the cash flow slows down? When it slows down, at some point it will, then you're going to be happy that you spent extra time with customers, building a relationship and helping them become aware of everything that you can solve in their home. So I hope this helped. I hope you'll slow down a little bit, take that extra time, explain it to the customer, install the drain line safety switch, install the compressor blanket, install the hard start kit, replace the capacitor, replace the outdoor fan motor, whatever needs to be done to keep them from having future issues and to earn more money as a business, create a better relationship with your customers, and providing a high level of service. That's what it's about. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Go make money. Boom.